Hello and greetings, questers all around the world. It is I, Jacob, your dungeon master, coming at you on April 1st, 2020. That's right, April Fool's Day. But what I have for you today are not jokes, not tricks, but real life facts and information about our make-believe game and adventure together. First of all, I want to say thank you again for listening to us, for making it this far. This is episode 11 that I just finished editing, and I tell you what, I was laughing as I was editing it. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about magic. As the game and the setting evolve, so does our understanding of how magic works in a Librar. That's just the nature of a homebrew setting, or at least a homebrew setting that I've come up with and instigated. I look at magic in Librar as being intertwined with a being's physical essence. Initially, dragons were the only ones with magic. And if you go back and re-listen to episode 0, Philodero goes and slays a dragon. The body disintegrates and leaves only the heart glowing with the dragon's magic. Philodero eats the heart, and thus begins the initial transference of magic in Librar. We find from this instance that magic can be neither created nor destroyed, but rather diluted and gathered. I also want to look at magic as being intertwined with a being's physical essence. So when a being dies, the magic that was intertwined with that physical essence gathers at a central location in the heart, leaving the physical elements now weakened to disintegrate. You can tell how much magic a being had by how much of their body disintegrates upon dying. At this point in time, it's been such a long time since the time of Philodero, that most beings have magic. Whether or not the magic is manifested on a day-to-day, most beings have at least a little bit of magic. And so when the person dies, then their fingertips or the tips of their toes start to disintegrate. So with that, again, as the game and the setting evolves, so will our understanding of magic. The second thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was world events. Now, if you are a part of the world, then I'm sure you know what's going on. I don't want to hash it out, but I do want to talk to you guys about our future plans as D5 questing. I've been texting the guys. We've been conversing a little bit about what we want to do. As it stands right now, we've got the next 10 episodes recorded, which gives us a little bit of time to play with how we want to move forward. Hopefully, by the time we need to record more episodes, we can all sit down and meet together again. But as it stands right now, John can't even leave Canada to come down here. So we're looking into different platforms to try and record. But I want to let you guys know that as the calamities of the world unfold on its stage, we're very much committed to unfolding our own production on our stage in your minds. So with that, thank you so much for listening and enjoy episode 11. Hey everybody, welcome back to D5 Questing.
Woot.
Man, that week went by real fast for me. I don't know about you guys, but
Man, it seemed like 20 minutes.
Gee Willikers.
Reed over there's been hard at work.
Yeah.
Whole week.
Reed actually went to law school to write this. I'm really excited to see. Like if this was a cartoon, then we would do a cutscene of him studying at the library and like lots of different zoom in, slow zoom in, and him pounding his head against the wall trying to figure stuff out, and law books.
It'd be a worked out sequence.
Yeah.
You're the best around.
Yeah, and just draining coffee by the gallon basically is what's going on.
Yeah. Got that Rocky movie.
But so welcome back to D5 Questing. On that note, we're going to turn the time over to Reed. for a word from our sponsors, and we'll go to that point in the program.
All right, today's D5 quest is brought to you by Integrity. Play by the rules. Get beat by those who don't.
I get it. All right, well, that's going to do it this episode. We'll see you in a week. Did you pick that one?
A little bit, yes.
Wow.
that one was a little bit biased.
I'm
but at
playing
the same
by-
time, the picture on that has a card trick. It kind of went along with me and my card trick last time. What's that up your sleeve?
I play by one rule, the rule of fun.
Oh, fun for who?
I play by one rule. It's called I
Fun
win.
for who?
Let's turn a little bit of time over to H for a quick recap about what happened last week.
Okay, well, for those of you who may not remember, our episode last week, we did the last two competitions here in the last two games here in the competition. Let's see here. So Rav was climbing a rope, and he did a pretty good job, but then they stalled the game because they figured out that somebody that the sheet that had all the different games on it was missing, and they were worried someone was cheating. So they took us back, and we were in our hut, and then they had Mr. Durfee McFadden separate and went and gave his little poem, so that that portion of the contest was going on. Anyway, they find the sheet, and they're like, "Oh, okay, this is great," and they go to have our last. I always forget his name. It's been a week again. I forgot his name. The dude who fell.
Oh, Malrin.
Malrin.
I meant to say Malrin. I'm sorry. Malrin.
Right. Anyway,
Steady.
Mordax is indentured servant, apparently.
Malrin goes to climb the rope. It's his turn. He got cut off before he could climb. And as he's getting close to the top, about 50 feet away, the rope breaks, and he fell. And a lot of things were done to try and save him.
Lifeline came in, and
Yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, we still don't know technically that he's dead. That wasn't answered last week.
That's true.
But people are calling now for the party's death because
sacrifice.
Unwilling sacrifice, because they don't agree with us being in the area anymore. They think we've committed some foul play. So we've got Mordax the Axe over there, hard at work. He's been preparing all week long
Finishing
to go
up
to court.
his comments.
Yes.
Because he is our lawyer.
We should make a movie about that. We call it Mordax's Day in Court.
All right, and so I have a little thing that I want I have a little thing that I want to put in here, and then if you want to go ahead, I guess GM and describe our what's going on there.
Okay.
But here's my little thing. In the criminal justice system in Liberar, the rules may be thrown out in the village of Stoneform. Our heroes have been arrested for a heinous crime. The dedicated goblin known as Mordax the Axe works tirelessly to defend his elite squad, known as the D5ers, from being sacrificed. This is their quest.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun dun!
All rise.
Sit down. Is that what you've been working this whole time on?
No, I've got other stuff. I didn't spend all week on just that.
We've got a great intro. Now the case. Wait, I was supposed to do the case too?
Tune in next week.
Was it not?
I move for a recess.
Roll persuasion. All right.
Welcome to D&D Court Edition.
All right, so we find ourselves in the Great Hall of the Cavern. So you guys are surrounded by guards, and Chieftain Lamrel has just said that you'll have a chance to prepare your trial. And then he exits, and the guards stay guarding you, and you guys kind of wait there for a little bit, probably 20-ish minutes, and I'm sure you're kind of looking around being like, what's the plan? So we fast forward 20 minutes-ish, And our good friend Captain Vareller enters.
I don't know that he's so much a good friend right now.
Well,
He might not be a friend at all.
we'll see.
He comes up. Hello, friends. Sounds to me like he's friend.
Oh, that's
No.
how it works.
He comes up and says, we have you four here, and Chieftain Lamrel told us to detain Eridor as well, and so he's being detained, and you both parties will have an opportunity to prepare their own individual case. I've been instructed to let you wander around freely to a certain extent. The guards know where you can and cannot go, but you'll be guarded and without your weapons. You're welcome to go and look at the site. You're welcome to go wherever you think might be of help to the process. So with that, I will leave you to it and go back to Malrin's side and see if there's anything else I can do there. And he starts leaving.
So he's inferring that Malron's all right then?
He's inferring that Malrin's not dead.
Okay. Because that was the only question that we were asking before, trying to figure out if he was alive or dead.
You'd still ask.
Sorry, did you say we can't see him? We can't see Malrin?
Malrin right now can't talk.
Captain Lamrel is he alive? Is he okay? Is he gonna live?
It's too early to tell. We don't know. We're doing everything that we can, but he took a lot of damage. If it wasn't for that mysterious bush, he most definitely would have perished per the dungeon master's plan. Oh. It's all coming together.
It's all coming together.
I know why we got arrested.
Okay. So he leaves, and the guards, kind of lower their weapons, and you see that you'll have probably 10 guards escorting you around for some time, so you guys can create your case.
Oh. You guys want to go check out that rope up top and see if it's been cut or damaged in any way?
I don't think they're gonna let us up there, but we can try. I feel that anything that we can do to help improve our case.
Well,
should be
we can
used.
always look at the other end that fell.
That's if they preserve the evidence.
Sacrifice the evidence.
Guard, can we go and look at the rope that fell inside? Can we go and have a see if it was cut or?
Yep. Yeah, we can definitely go there.
Oh,
Oh, senior got on duty.
Okay.
Yeah, sure thing.
Do you all want to go check out the rope then, see if we can?
I'm retiring next month. Don't real care what you do.
oh, good. I like this game.
We are taking
Can we
him
leave?
with us. Let's go find the other guard from the cave that doesn't like being there anymore, and we just increased our troop by
We can get our weapons back.
I don't know what retirement looks like in this village.
Oh, I think
Okay,
we
so-
all know what retirement looks like.
Yeah, Logan's Run. over here.
So you want to go check out the rope then? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna move over to the rope there and check out, see damage in any way, shape, or form. What could have transpired other than just a weak used rope.
Is it all evenly cut across, or is it
You know what? How about we do
Perception?
some perception?
What's that again? Aha!
24?
Wow.
Durfee's looking up.
Jeez, I got a natural 20 and a 22. All of you guys are like, oh, I got all this. I'm like, dang.
Well, I remember when you guys first got to Stoneform Village and you rolled perception to look at the fortifications, and John rolled super high and everybody
He's
else
the only
rolled
thing keeping us
mediocre.
going.
And he was like, and he was in the back.
Again, he only had to look over 2 small goblins and a tall elf. I
In
guess,
the
but-
back isn't saying much.
Let me tell you what
Half
you
elf,
see.
half elf. Thank you very much.
My bad.
All right, so
Still freakishly
is
huge.
everybody examining the rope,
Tall.
or are you guys
Oh, yeah.
just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
examining the area?
Taking a peek
Every-
at that.
everything,
Yeah,
like,
I
we-
wanna-
The entire
observe.
area there. We want to make sure there, foul play was not in where it was and where it occurred,
No
how it
flagrants.
happened, who
Well,
it was. I mean, wait, we don't know
I'm gonna
that.
ask the guy.
Also want to look at the bush to be like, what
you
the
mean-
F is this thing?
Yeah. Would you be willing to take us up top as well?
Wait, the bush is still there.
I've been
I missed
instructed
that
I
entire
can take
conversation. Is it still
one
there?
of you to the top. I've been instructed I can take one of you up there.
Who got the highest perception?
I got 24.
Okay.
Who has the best dexterity?
Dexterity gets wisdom.
Well, who's got the best dexterity to go out on that beam? A
Oh,
little balance board action.
I've got 2.
Two.
Well, altogether it's 14.
I mean,
but
I'm at 18 on dexterity, and my acrobatics is 7.
let's have you
Send up
go.
the money.
Don't worry, I won't walk around. I'll just walk up.
As you climb the wall, and everyone's like, demon! Demon!
He climbs the rope that's been cut.
Upside down.
All right,
Oh, jeez.
excuse me. So you make it to the top, and there's Highland games going on up there.
I thought the games were done.
Closing ceremonies.
Scotland the Brave is playing.
So we'll cut that whole section out, I guess. Torvo, you're going up to the tippity top. Is that what we decided, or is it Torvo or Durfee?
Well, I guess if we can separate, I mean, they seem to be doing fine down below. But if we can only take one,
One.
then
It's
might as well.
there's
start
only
right
one
now.
of you.
And you get a 20. What? 22 perception?
I was 23.
23 perception. Yeah,
And
so
I'm
it's
at
just.
24.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess only if one of you guys want to actually go out on and like get a real close up look for Dex.
25.
Jeez, when was the last time you rolled below a 20?
Dude, I keep hitting 18, 17s and stuff. I'm happy with this. No, remember in the stupid shooting competition, I'm trying not to rage.
Is it
I
dexterity
got kind
or
of
Yeah, you got like a 32.
is it dexterity or will you be adding acrobatics or athletics to it?
We can only take up one.
Right, you know.
I did acrobatics, and that
Okay.
was my acrobatics.
Cool. All right, so
I got a 20, so
we'll cut to the
still
top in a
nice.
minute. So down below, you guys look at the rope and you see that it was clearly cut most of the way through in a way that it was intentional. Foul play,
Is
as they say.
there any way to prove it? That's the catch.
Well, if it's been cut, it's been cut. You can see it's been cut.
Also, can we see how much rope is still left? Like where was it cut at?
I guess I'll determine that.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, he did
well-
climb it, so we saw him climb up.
Torvo will look at the top and see, get a better idea of where it was cut. And then Rav, you're kind of looking around, is what you said, just for any other thing. So as you go around, you find a knife. Go
I
hold.
want to
Does-
call one of the guards over
Ooh.
to point out.
Well played. You
Does
know what?
Does he recognize
Take
the
a
knife, though?
point of heroism for that. Well played.
Does he recognize the knife though as the same one?
I was gonna
I
have him
did.
roll
Well,
a
that's-
memory check, but I don't know what that would fall under. Yeah, you recognize it.
Yeah,
You
because I
recognize
did
it as-
the cutting.
You recognize it as Eridor's knife.
Okay. So I'm just pointing out to the guard that, this knife over here, that's the same one I used to cut my bindings off my legs when I climbed the rope the last time too. And I didn't get that knife till I was at the top and then came back down without it.
Did you drop it from the top?
No, I gave it back to Eridor because he had to give it to the next competitor.
Interesting. And so he gets out his evidence bag and picks it up.
Zip!
Yeah.
Pulls out a Sharpie while we're at
Take
it.
it back to the lab. No, but you find it. It wasn't hidden intentionally, but it'd fallen among like some rocks,
Yeah.
and so it was harder to find than just like, oh, there's a knife on
Yes.
the ground.
Okay.
Well, there it is.
So,
Okay. Anything else in my searching perception?
not particular. You find
Any stray hairs of rope that could have come off from being cut up there?
no. You do find a couple of springboard leaves or whatever the freak that was.
From your leshy familiar.
Okay. And then Durfee, you're kind of looking around where he fell.
Yeah, I'm checking out the area where he fell, like the bush and everything.
Okay. Well, the bush is gone.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm just looking around the area that he
Okay.
fell, just trying to see.
You do see a particularly sharp rock that has blood all over it.
Oh. Hey, guard. I've got something for you. I found this rock. It's got blood all over it, and I didn't want to touch it. I just thought you should know.
Okay.
Durfee,
On a,
Durfee,
uh,
does it look natural, or has it been placed there?
Can we meta for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. On a lore level of what is common knowledge, is magic advanced on this planet to the point where we can, if somebody high enough, can they determine whose blood it belongs to?
No. I mean, but
I'm not saying that this village would do it. I'm just saying if we went to a high populous village where magic is more common, would that be an available thing?
no, probably not.
Okay.
Forensics hasn't got that high.
Okay. I wanted to know what level of forensics we can take this thing.
How-
I don't want to role play to a deep forensics level.
How big is this rock?
Size of your head, probably.
So obviously something they would have removed from that course before people had gone up.
No, not necessarily. Like the ground is scattered with
Where did we-
rocks and
Gotcha.
boulders like this.
Gotcha.
So
It
I
was
would
in
say
the area where he landed, right?
like he landed on it basically.
Okay.
And so like if you were to go and look, then there's a good chance that he's got a pretty good gash on the back of his head.
Okay.
Would I be able to make a perception check if I remember that rock being there when I climbed the rope before?
Yeah.
Or if it was placed there after the fact?
Yeah.
19?
With your astute remembrance, you remember stepping on that rock as your first, like, to get yourself a couple extra inches off the ground. Just to kind of start
So
off.
it was
It was
there.
there, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to relay that to Durfee as well, but still. The rock at the base of this.
It's a good thing that bush showed up then.
We're going to say that out loud so the guards come over here?
He did say it in his voice.
Well, they saw it
He
too.
canonized it.
They saw it too. I'm not saying that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not,
no,
I'm
it's
not
fine.
saying that he did it. I
think
said
it's
it's a
fine
good
that
thing
you
that the
said
bush
it.
showed up.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's fine you said it. Like, they can't prove that it's our bush, man.
It's not my weed.
Yo, dude,
hold it
that
for a
weed was
friend.
20 feet from me. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was just holding it for a friend. They're just
Okay.
friends, Mom.
Anyways.
Okay. Yeah. Other
But-
than that, you guys don't find anything of note
'Kay.
on the ground. Up to the top. Yeah, you can go out on the ledge if you like. There, I'm not going out there though.
Okay,
And you did that already.
Okay, I was like, do I keep my acrobatics check?
So yeah, you go out gingerly. Don't
Gingerly,
don't
I got a
even-
20.
you go ahead and tell me how you go out there?
23.
Cartwheels.
I would imagine, not cartwheeling,
Handstand
but
walk
I would
on your
imagine
hands.
that I'm not feeling very, like I'm going to fall.
Does a gain or two.
Yeah, I would think. I go out and vault a little bit on it.
Springy.
I grab the sides, start using it like a horse.
Horse across the chest.
Beam feels solid.
I have myself a hot rod
a good
moment in the
name.
woods.
The guard's sitting there like,
Good craftsmanship.
I remember when I was your age, I could do stuff like that too. Enjoy your youth.
I definitely go out with where I'm not feeling like I'm balanced.
Something about an
Basically.
arrow
It
with a knee.
seems I seem to be walking out with ease.
Okay. Yeah, and the apparatus, I mean, basically.
Is it holding me well?
Yeah, it's very sturdy. It's very sturdy. The knot looks sturdy, and it looks like the rope was cut pretty close to the top, like within a matter of inches from that top knot.
Anything else about the rope? Can I tell if the rope is weathered or worn itself?
Go ahead and roll another perception check on that.
Oops. Yeah. All right, 24. I got a 19.
Yeah.
It looks used, but not. I mean,
Wouldn't-
you
it wouldn't
look
be-
at it
Yeah.
as best you can. You kind of poke your head underneath, and you look at where it was cut, and you can see it's dirty on the outside, cut, and so it's clean on the
Clean
inside
on the
where it's been cut, and that's very obvious.
Is there any filings or anything left of the blade or? But it seems like if I was to replicate a cut on a rope, or being able to snap a rope with tension, I could be able to prove how this looks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Torvo,
I wanna know-
bring any evidence you find back down with you.
I don't know how.
I don't know how I can rip this off.
I want to see
Can
how you
not
want to
undo
rip this
the
rope
knot
with
and bring it
tension.
down?
I do shout down to them.
It does seem to be cut by this end, and everything up here is very sturdy. It had to be intentional.
A fair deduction. Okay.
A fair deduction, says the GM.
Okay,
somehow.
so-
In
Is there
Durfee's
anything else? I
Someone
look
else's
around
voice would-
anywhere else along the ridgeline. Anything? Is there anything else to notice?
No, not particularly.
Okay.
Just I mean, you if you want to, you could take a extra look around to see the general surroundings while you're up there, because you're at a spot that you haven't been able to get to before.
Yeah.
You know,
Can I? Yeah.
it looks. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and roll.
You want me to-
I know how much you like. rolling.
Torvo,
Huh?
I know
look
how
to
much
see
you like
if,
rolling.
Torvo, look to see if you can find a sheath up there for a dagger.
Look to see if you can find a way out of here.
We
I got
found
it.
a knife down here.
I got a 17 on that one.
Okay. Yeah. It's pretty wooded. Right at the top, then there's a good embankment of trees that this bulwark was tied into. So obviously very sturdy. And then just beyond it, and so this grove of trees is probably 20-ish feet, pretty thick. And then beyond it, then you can see that they've clear cut quite a ways back. And so you'd basically look at it as they're trying to preserve the top of the cliff from any type of erosion by leaving all those trees there. And then they have the next, and you see a couple guard towers up there to kind of look that way for an oncoming attack.
Okay. Are there people in the towers?
Yeah,
Okay.
people up there.
I just had a moment where I thought if I could run.
See you, suckers!
Yeah.
You push this old guy off the cliff and run.
I was about to ask you, how old does he look?
I would love to see that so much.
Total Spartan
I'm
kick.
not
Just
about to leave all these people, but I will be honest that the thought crossed my mind for a minute. Where I was like,
is
I
a
could be
Libra.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, maybe I don't want to be a monk.
Lawfulness be damned.
I think there was a class change there.
Murder hobo. Something snapped.
Yeah.
From a logic
I'm thinking about
point,
blackguard out of nowhere.
from a logical point, though, like you could outrun the guard.
Right. Well, that's,
Obviously.
I'd like to weigh my options.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, that was pretty good. Though. I would have loved to see that. Because
Everything
basically you
flashed
just
through
ride
my
off.
mind, and I was like, that would be entertaining.
So
but,
Jake's gonna spend the rest of the episode rolling a new character.
since there's nothing else to
Okay.
see, then we.
All right. So as you guys are kind of regrouping at the bottom of the cliff, Captain Vareller comes up and says, "There's something you should know. Mallorin has passed away and is no longer with us, and is now going to be with the dragons."
I'm going.
Did he regain consciousness?
No, he did not.
Rav sheds a tear.
Oh wow!
A forced here. Roll a
No.
performance
Yeah.
check.
No, this is authentic.
Wow.
There was a loss of life.
Can I?
That is.
Oh,
Yeah.
lost in life.
He's a druid.
Not to.
My,
I don't know if you've ever seen these, but
My
back in the
wench.
day there was commercials where
What do I do
a
now?
certain group of people would look along a land and see it full of trash, I see it like that.
Do yourself a favor. Don't turn around.
Yeah.
Do you still want me to roll for that?
Told you not to turn
Not
around.
if it was genuine. I mean, that's how you feel about life.
You know.
But why didn't you cry for the help goblins?
Huh? Because they're evil.
But they are life.
They tried killing us. No, there's a fine line between...
Hey man, I'm with you. I'm not trying to tell you your belief system.
Okay.
But I want to know your belief system.
Does anybody else want to
if they're
force
gonna
it
let
here?
us, pass in peace and attack the next group, whatever, it's, but... In all honesty,
I'm
it's...
saying, in the summary of some of those old role-playing games, Jake will remember this.
Yeah, and he'll call it out. Does anybody else want to?
Where's the tears now, boy?
Does anybody else want to force a tier?
Dude.
I'm just messing with you.
No,
Something wrong with your eye, boy?
he wasn't my wench.
I just looked down
who told us
in
that?
sadness.
Who told us that?
Captain
The
of
captain did?
Reller.
I asked him, in honesty,
If you could help us, how does that, can that affect our case?
Well, someone died and someone killed him. So now there definitely is a murder, whereas before it may not have ended up in murder.
A murder, you
You-
say?
Outside of how you would
Let me settle in,
sacrifice,
I'll,
do you generally see things as eye for an eye here?
I was doing so well.
We typically give people the chance to offer themselves one last time as a willing sacrifice to the dragon. Some might call it a last penance in an attempt. Although we don't determine.
guilt.
Whoa, careful now.
He didn't say it in character voice.
We
Stop
allow
vaxing DMing. All right, man.
we allow people the opportunity to once more declare willing sacrifice, and that's their choice. So, if you are found guilty, one of you or all of you, or some of you, then you'll be offered the chance one more time to be a willing sacrifice. Yeah, unfortunately, when Malloran passed, his body, as bodies do, disintegrated, and the magic that he had left went to his heart, which will be turned to stone and taken as a sacrifice to the dragon.
And I assume that happens inside the mountain.
Perhaps you should convince everybody of your innocence before we talk about matters like that. A good portion of his body is disintegrated, but you're welcome to go and see what's left.
Yeah, if you'll let us, I would like to be able to see.
Okay?
Is that where that magic bush came from that saved him? Was it he summoned it and that's where he had a little bit of magic?
Perhaps. Go ahead and make a persuasion check. Deception. Oh yeah, do deception. That's better because you know full well where that came from.
Can I project my perception or my deception onto you?
So 9.
Niner.
Yeah.
Do you have a 1? Do you have
Oh,
a
I do have a hero point.
Okay.
Why not? If I can pass it, it's not. No, 9.
9.
Yeah.
That's
You
too
have
bad
another
because
one.
you declared using your hero point after, so you keep the second roll.
He has another hero point. You
Oh
gave
yeah,
him
because
the
we started
second
a new episode.
one. You gave him another one.
Do you want to roll another one?
It'd be better to pass this. Ooh, 17. Oh, sorry. That'd be 15.
Oh.
You
An 8. That's...
you do make a compelling argument, and I definitely would bring that up as part of your case. And then if you guys don't have anything else, then we will take you to see his body.
Why do we need to bring that in part of the case? How we're being accused of the bush as well?
I thought we used magic.
Exactly, but here's the thing, though. If I feel like the bush could be a saving factor for us, because obviously they knew he had magic, and it's not an issue because he had magic.
Yeah.
He lived in the town just fine. They didn't care.
But he's not an outsider.
But if we used magic to try and save him, what's the problem with that?
Are we gonna bring that up, like that we summoned the bush?
I don't think it would work in our favor.
No,
Okay.
it wouldn't.
That's what I figured. So.
I think we can at least just push it on the levels of
Sorry.
how fortuitous that was for him. You know?
Yeah.
Turns out, yeah, right before he died, when we were arm wrestling, he told me he could summon bushes.
You wouldn't believe this, but I can summon bushes!
All right. So we're gonna go see the
See his body.
of our.
So when you get to the body, I mean, it's not a new sight. You guys have all seen dead bodies before, I'd imagine, or at least, remains of dead bodies.
Well, I mean, we killed him, so you know.
And true to the lore of this world, as your body disintegrates to the level of magic that you have. The more magic you have, the more part of you disintegrates. Yeah, so you get to the body, and his both of his arms and 1.5 legs have disintegrated.
Wow.
So he had a fair amount.
So he had a fair amount.
Okay.
So that does bode in our favor.
Was he a strong warrior?
Yes, he was a very strong warrior. He was actually looking to become part of the guard permanently.
Can I use medicine?
Yeah, roll medicine check.
21.
21. Okay. Yeah, as you kind of examine and do somewhat of an impromptu autopsy, then you look at the back of his head, and the wound in the back of his head lines up with the rock. I imagine that they told you about.
How deep is it?
Pretty deep.
Does that seem from...
What did you find, Torvo?
Does it seem that is the likely cause of his death?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it look as though the impact was, if I can determine at all, was it lessened at all by the bush?
Yeah. You see that it was. I mean, it
Would
was
have
still.
just split his head open, basically.
Yeah. And if you look closely, then you can see basically a fracture in his skull.
Yeah.
Like if you started really getting in there, then you'd see a fracture of his skull. But yeah, the plant substantially. I mean, he would have been killed instantly if the plant hadn't showed the bush.
Okay.
Rav can't take him, or he's gotta
Is there
just step outside the room.
anything else?
Throw up.
Is there anything else about the body?
No, nothing
Body's
else.
making you nervous.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I know, I'm kidding.
Real fast, just from you, lore-wise, metagame again. Would most people see as messing with the dead as disrespectful? Beyond, I mean, looting the dead. I mean, just proper examination.
I would say in this case, it'd be best to not.
Yeah, because it's not my people,
Right.
but I'm overall a general sense of people of the land.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to make sure I'm not doing something outside of.
aside from eating the heart to get the magic,
Yes,
then.
but that's a known thing.
But yeah, that is a known thing throughout the world.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that's the primary way of the transference of magic from one person to another.
Okay.
But yeah, as a general rule, I'd say probably respect the dead as best you can.
Okay. Yeah, if there's nothing else to see, then that's all I do, and I step back and relate what I've seen
Okay.
to my companions.
And
And I do relate that, as far as I can tell, nothing else on where anything's disappeared from his body would have had any impact on death.
Okay. So Vareller, before he steps away again, then he says, you guys have probably 2 hours to finish composing your case. Use that time as you will. But Chieftain Lamrel would like to have the case as soon as possible and get to the bottom of this. So I must go attend to other duties, but I'll leave you with the other guards. And he steps away.
Mordax, how's the case coming?
Do you
Huddle
guys,
up.
do you guys want to go back to the hut and kind of start getting things ready for it? Okay, so
Yeah, let's do that. I'm all for that. Let's all head over to
I
the
don't think
hut.
there's anything else we can really look for. Or,
okay, so yeah, they
unless anyone else has something.
let me take you back to. No, what was that old guy's voice? Let me take you back. There it is. Let me take you back to your hut, and if you don't mind, I'd like to lay down a little bit while we're there.
Oh yeah, no problem, bro.
We'll appreciate that.
You can have the top bunk.
That was Torvo's.
All right.
I'm fine.
So while in the hut.
That was Malrin's. He was gonna sleep there when he had a sleepover with us.
Well, feels bad, man.
So basically, you guys have this time to talk in character or out of character, however best you want to present your case, and who you want to present your case, things like that. And then when you're ready, then we will fast forward to the trial.
Mordax the axe.
We all know
attorney.
Mordax, knows law.
Yeah,
Rav is on autopilot, so
I think we should let Gabo Cop.
Present my case.
yeah.
Rav's
Yeah.
on auto follow.
He knows everything that we know, so there's not much else that we can
Okay.
converse about. So it's going to be pretty much on our interim lawyer to.
No. Yeah. So as your lawyer,
He's on retention.
as your lawyer,
So, the question is, do we want to bring up the fact that we were forced into this competition by Captain Varela? Is that something that we want to bring up, or do we want to just kind of leave that out there, but just state that we were forced into this competition?
I think that we only use it in a relevant term.
Okay.
I don't
If
think.
it,
I
if
don't
it
think.
seems that we were willing participants in something, I think then we can bring it up. But I don't think it would be prudent for us to lay blame on his shoulders.
I agree. I don't think it's pertinent that we should kind of accuse him knowing that the rope was cut.
Chief Lamrell did really not like that at all.
Yeah.
Didn't like what? Sorry.
Chief Lamoureux really didn't like the fact that we brought it up the first time, so I wouldn't.
Oh, that we were forced into the competition?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's true. It's true. Remember, because Captain Varela said it's a high honor, and everybody was excited to see you.
Where's that voice coming from?
It's not fair. We didn't even want to be part of your stupid competition. That's what I want to see in court. You guys ready to present your case?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit silent until we
Until
start
called
going.
upon?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Same, yeah.
Feels good. Well,
The
hopefully,
knife, the rope, and
hopefully you have a solid case.
the actions and everything else. Corroboration.
I
with
trust
the
our
guards that
lawyer.
We showed everything too, that we didn't plant any evidence.
I trust Gabo Cop.
Gobbo cow.
In Gabo Cop we trust.
I think we will get a good sense if we're being set up or not right now.
Okay. All right. Let's fast forward then to trial day. Trial time. I guess it is trial day. All right. So you guys are placed in a new part of the cavern. Give me some space for a map.
The dungeon.
there's no space.
Well, there's gotta be space. So you guys are. Oh, jeez. My microphone just like broke.
Or just unscrewed completely.
I didn't know you could unscrew it completely. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's so that you can hook it up to like a boom in the future if you want.
And in this corner,
I might take that off.
Yeah.
I've been holding my mic in my hand the whole time. All right, so
and in this corner, we have
Standing at
3-3.
Okay, you're giving us a
Mordax
map of the courtroom.
Mordax, the attorney.
well, I spent a lot of time getting these laid out together. So move those cans.
If you've been falsely accused,
All right. So this is where the courtroom is essentially, and you find out that this is actually the sacrificial chamber as well. So right over here, this way would be towards the like the grand hall.
Okay.
That way to the grand hall.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. From where we came in on this side. Okay.
Yep. So you guys came in. You guys came in from this side. You come around. This stone pillar that you see right in the middle is to prevent anybody from looking in as they're walking down the halls.
Is that where we're kind of at?
And so you guys are up here on the one side, and Chieftain Lamrall is sitting up here on his throne. Well, look at you guys. You got a nice little party there, and I got to get somebody for.
Chief Lamrell has a bullwhip in his hand.
I got to get some other
Making me nervous.
some other people, and then we've got other people kind of scattered around.
Eridor's in there somewhere, right?
Eridor is in here on this side.
Is that Eridor?
They found him then?
Yeah, oh yeah, they found him, and he had a chance to go through and compile his evidence and stuff, so he was given the same. See, that's
Wait, is he part of the prosecution, or is he another defendant?
well, basically you two versus each other. So
So he is
there's
standing as our accused.
he's so
We're not against the state.
whoa let me
Getting too.
You need to stop using that stuff and just work with me.
Mordax, roll a lore law check. I don't know.
To tell Torvo to shut his mouth.
Help me out. Yeah, he rolled a shut your mouth, Torvo. That's exactly what it said on his dice.
As your advisor. calm down.
All right, so
Torvo.
basically how it's
We
going to
know
go
what you're
down is you guys will have a chance to present your case. Eridor will have a chance to present his case, and whoever has the most compelling wins, basically. And the other
check.
and the other group will be sentenced. They'll be found guilty essentially.
Okay.
So everybody knows that it was either him from acting a fool and the fight in the tavern the night before, or you guys for being outsiders, and they're coming in close to second place. We didn't mean to kill him, but we meant to stop him, and so we could win first place and get what we came here for. Essentially is what's happening. So those are the motives. Okay. Make sense?
I mean,
I
we
see.
didn't really come here
So-
for anything.
So there was a motive. Yep, there clearly could have been a motive for us. That's true.
So, and again, as silly
Especially seen by how they view.
as a motive it is, I mean, you guys are outsiders, so that's not really in your favor either. You know what I mean?
All right.
Okay? You can move your computer forward just a skosh. Not this, but like the whole thing. And then that way you can open it up. Okay? And then Captain Vareller is hanging out up here. And we've got everybody sitting down because that's how Lego guys... Thank you, Lego, for
Making this.
making this
We
possible.
have brickmen.
Brickman.
Maybe one day we'll have characters made.
That is not this day.
As they say.
It's better than using our
And it'd be
D4s.
really sad to make one and then die.
All right, and if a character dies and we have a mini made for that character, you have to destroy that mini as well. Don't care if you spent
Gotta melt
15
it. What
bucks
do
on
you do? You gotta kill it the way that you died.
You got to melt it and turn it into bullets.
Well, you just make them out of cast aluminum, and that way you just melt it down and pour it into your next one.
Anyways, so this is basically the setup.
Making
Okay.
them old, though.
So Chieftain Lamrall is sitting up at the top in his throne. And I should also explain where he's sitting is up probably about 10 feet.
On a dais.
Yes. He's sitting up about 10 feet. There's stairs that go up to that pedestal for somebody to go up and say their piece, basically.
Present to the court.
Yeah, but he's judge, jury, executioner.
Oh, awesome.
So,
Judge Dredd over here.
and then
I hope not.
So we're making our case to him.
so you're making your case to him.
Alright, calm down, man.
There's no convincing the jury. I mean, it's also not full of other people, but there are other townsmen and soldiers in there as well. Not
no
pictured here.
townsmen. No townsmen. That's just mean.
They're in there. Malloran's remains are in there too, watching as best they can. Too soon.
So, be all teary-eyed and trying to do this.
All right, let's get this court hearing over with. I want to get to the bottom of it, and I'm eager to hear the defenses from each of you. I think it's only fair that we let who we've known longer go first, and so.
I was going to defer to Eridor anyway.
unless there's somebody else that wants to go first.
Coin toss goes to
You want to go first.
And so Eridor goes up and starts to make his defense. Bloop. So he goes up there and plops right down, and he goes, as we all know, I was in a fight with Malloran in the tavern last night, a fight that I will forever regret. And he was a friend, and we'd made up. We'd made up afterwards, and I'm hurt that I'm standing here being accused of this today. Sorry. I know that a lot of you don't like me, and that's fine. I know I'm not a likable person, but he liked me, and I respected him for that. I didn't kill him. I didn't even have a knife with me at the top. I had one, and I gave it to Rav over here, and he was the last person to have it. I didn't see him cut the rope at the top when I was up there. But when that paper was lost and we were all looking for that parchment, then I went under lockdown just same as you folks, and as far as I can figure, they wanted him dead mostly because they were so close to winning the competition. The only thing I can figure is that one of those stealthy gobos ran out while no one was looking and cut the rope themselves. That's the best I can figure. This is it pains me greatly to stand accused of this, but I tell you now, I didn't cut that rope. And you hear kind of golf type applause, to be like,
Nice.
well said.
From the peanut gallery, or
Yep.
from the chief?
From the peanut gallery.
From the hecklers.
And he rolled. Oh goodness. He rolled a bunch. No. And so he, kind of goes and sits back down and conjures up a tear.
7. Nice.
Whoa! Does he have to roll to conjure the tear?
I got a 22 on perception. What does it look like that I can tell that Chieftain
Lamoral?
Lamoral?
He looks contemplative about it. Kind of like that does make sense. That does make sense. The fool. Because backstory on these two, they have been friends off and on, more on than off, for a long time. These two, that's Malloran and Eridor.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Good for them.
So you guys got that working against you. Unfortunate.
Well, I mean, if we could produce, other law to,
You want to go in and
bring
change
to court.
their entire legal system.
As you see from Stacy versus Kimmel,
Hatfields v. McCoys.
What strange names for a Libra.
Plessy v. Ferguson.
I request to have the record read back to me.
Oh boy.
yeah, is there a stenographer?
If only we were recording this.
No, blast.
So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. I'll just do a Control-C, Control-V right there as I'm editing.
Yeah.
Rav leans over to Mordax. Yeah, that I didn't have that knife.
I gave it back to him, and everybody saw that when it came back down. There's a flaw in his story there, and there's also a flaw in his story. Might want to make sure to point out the fact that that might have been the first time, I'm not sure, that he actually threatened to kill his friend. I think
So
and everybody down below was also watching, and 60 feet's not far away, that I give the knife back, and then I came back down. That's when everything stopped.
I also lean in and just relate kind of how I perceived
Gotcha.
Chief Lamoral.
Okay.
How did you perceive him? You could say that one more.
He's contemplative. He's,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
That it actually kind of
part,
seemed
that part. Okay, I got you. Okay.
he could agree
I was
with.
thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking before the.
That he could
this
almost
whole
Yeah,
thing.
agree
Okay.
you did see kind of slight nodding, like
Yeah, okay.
makes sense to me. Case dismissed.
let's murder some
Heard enough. Sounds like we found our murderers.
Kangaroo court indeed.
All right, so
For mistrial.
very powerful words, and he kind of wipes away what was almost a tear. Everybody's dropping tears.
Good.
And so let's move on to our newcomers here.
All right.
Who's presenting your case?
And I want to, just before Mordax raises his hand, and remember, this was an honor and a privilege to participate.
Oh my gosh!
Chief, I will be presenting your case.
He kind of looks around and yes. Go on. No, he
Oh, the filthy gobbo, huh? All right, that's gonna be one action to get up onto.
I'll make a climb check. Do you do splits the whole way up?
It's just how I have
Yeah.
a person there.
He's
It's
even
just-
holding the pickaxe of law.
Oh yeah, we took away those weapons. He's got a weapon. He's got a gun.
Guess we should get rid of that batarang in my
He's approaching the court. Bailiff.
That's what mine is. It's a toothpick. Okay.
Nobody can really.
Nobody
handle
can
it well.
see that we have all that stuff. Remember, folks at home, I mean, these are character, little block characters. Mine has a pickaxe in its hand. So
Great radio.
That's what
It's
we're talking about.
representative, okay?
That's what we're talking about.
Representative of his law book, of his Bible.
Okay. Are we ready for
There's
my...
nothing in here about cut ropes.
Are we ready for my thing here?
Yes.
All right.
We have come to your village as travelers and happened to arrive just in time for the Emerald Dwarf Festival. We are invited to stay and celebrate with you. And then we were invited also to compete in the competition by Captain Veraler. And we conversed with one another and decided that it would be an honor for us to compete. And so we did. Later on that evening, last evening, that is, myself and my companion Rav entered into the tavern to join in the festivities where we witnessed Malrin's Steady River win an arm wrestle match. I then challenged him and beat him in the match. At that point, he and I shook hands, and he told me he was my man. Shortly after, Eridor grabbed me.
As you regale your tale, then you hear murmurs in the back like, "Oh yeah, that was good. That was good. That was cool. Oh yeah, I remember that."
Shortly after, Eridor grabbed me and said he had lost a lot of money betting against me, and that I was to pay him for his losses. I told him no, and he tried to punch me and then attack me. Malrin then came and stopped him. Eridor then told Malrin that he needed to pay him instead. He said no, and there was a fight that broke out for a couple of seconds there. When the fight broke, Eridor left the tavern and threatened Malrin, saying to mark his words that he would kill Malrin. Now, I'm not sure if that's a commonplace here, but if they're good friends, I don't know why he would say such things. The next day, the competition, we had our friend Rav, after the climbed up the rope there, and he was given the knife by Eridor to cut himself free on his legs. And then he gave the knife back to Eridor, climbed back down, and that's when the competition was halted for that brief moment. And we were ushered to our tent. When we were coming back to the place to climb for the competition there, we saw Eridor climbing the rope to the top of the cliff before Malrin was to climb. After the incident of the rope breaking, we ran to his aid, and he must have summoned a bush to slow his descent at that point. As we approached, I saw that Eridor was looking over the edge, but when I looked again, he was nowhere to be seen. As for us, the goblins, being able to cut that rope and be all stealthy-like, we've been around here. We were ushered to our tent. We've been guarded. None of us ever even approached this area. Later, after we had been taken away and arrested, we were allowed to search the area and found that the rope had been cut intentionally near the top of the course. The last person to climb this rope before it broke was Eridor. With the guard present, we found the knife that Eridor had carried at the scene of the crime. The fact that we have been accused of this misdeed is purely based on that we were foreigners to this village. Again, we have no reason to try and rig this competition. It was an honor for us to try and to be considered to compete.
Can I call for a deception check on that one?
Yeah, you can because we
Because
had
we didn't know.
clearly
We
said
did,
we could clearly said what the heck? Why'd you sign us up?
I got a 16.
Okay. He kind of nods, like you see kind of a slight smile to be like, you know what? It was an honor. It was
Again, yeah, we have no reason to try and rig this competition. Malrin and I have a bond that was forged in that arm wrestle match. We would never try to hurt him.
I can't even.
That was
And on that note,
And on that note, that's it.
That's your closing argument.
Yeah, that's his
Okay.
argument.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a performance check.
Oh, jeez.
If it passes a certain DC, then I'll give you a +2 on your lore law check.
Ooh, that'll be cool. All right,
DC, I'm
performance.
letting you know, DC right now is 14. DC 14.
Okay. 9. Performance was so I got 11.
Okay.
That's okay.
You haven't presented a case in a while, so it's okay. It's understandable.
Yeah, that's okay. So now I do my lore on my legal.
Yep.
Okay. And go. 12. That's what I got.
12. Does anybody want to? You want to do a
0 point.
hero point?
I should have done it right before.
You
That's what I
should
was going to
do
do. I
that
was gonna do
now.
both. I was going to do both at the same time. Take the higher of the two. Because it could be worse. I could get a 1.
Could be worse.
Can are hero points transferable?
No. I
I
have
want to
5,
assist him in legal.
right? All right.
Don't forget
I
about
will use
this.
Take my hero
I will
points.
use the hero point. Here we go. Much better. We got a 19. 19, folks. A
Nice.
19.
We got a 19 here.
Let the record state that
There was a 19.
Chieftain Lamrel looks, and again you hear lots of a little bit louder from the crowd.
Anybody that's saying is there anybody that's like Mordax?
Nobody's shouting Mordax.
Okay.
Trying to give you that, unless one of you guys. Mordax.
It just brings everyone's like, yeah.
no, I'm sitting solemnly and
Yes.
Okay. No. So then you look up to Chieftain Lamrel, and it looks like he's weighing the options very heavily in his mind. We this is a very interesting case, and you both have made very honorable cases and very convincing remarks. In the end, I believe your story more. Any motions to Mordax. I believe your story, and I don't believe that you would have killed our friend Mallorin, intentional or otherwise. And as such, I sentence Eridor to sacrifice, willing or other. And he turns to Eridor and says, Eridor, you've been sentenced to be sacrificed. Are you willing to become a willing sacrifice? And Eridor stands up, and it looks like he's about to, try and resist that and be like, no, it was bullcrap. They're lying and stuff. But then he stands up straight, sticks his chest out, and looks up, looks back down, looks to Chieftain Lamrel, and says, yes, I'm willing to be a sacrifice, and walks up to the pedestal where he made his initial case. At which point, Go ahead and make perception checks.
20?
And I need to know
11.
what you guys are watching.
I'm looking like between the
Okay.
what's going on.
Split vision.
Well, no, but like we're sitting off to the side here, so I can see them.
Okay.
right?
Who are you focused
Am I still
on?
at the pedestal?
I'm focused on the chief.
Okay.
Am I still at the pedestal, or have I gone?
You walked back down.
11.
I've walked back down to the group. Okay, I'm watching Eridor, and I got a 18.
Okay.
I'm looking into the crowd-ish. 20.
No, more than I'm watching.
I'm just kidding.
Looking up in the air.
All right. So who's watching the chief?
I'm watching the chief. yeah.
All right. So it's subtle, and but Durfee and Rav both see as he reaches out his right hand, he turns a little bit to the left, and with his left hand he reaches underneath his robes, and then those that are watching Eridor see that he turns to stone.
Rapidly?
Instantaneously.
Like that.
From what way out?
And from
Inside out?
From the heart out.
From the heart out?
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll pick it up there next week.
Excellent.
3, 2, 1.
Questing!
For kids.
D5.